Welcome to episode 236 of Say Like a Champ. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy. What's up, SLAC fam?
Back in the building once again, and we appreciate all our slackers in the room already. We got y'all in the comments. We want to welcome in Moms, Aunt, Pop, Stephanie, and Anthony Weston as well. Appreciate y'all tuning in, and we're going to get things rolling right quick here with a quick check-in as we always do. Strizzy, how you feeling?
Man, feeling good, man. SLAC family. Sorry we're late, but that's on me today. You know what I'm saying? But we're here. You know what I'm saying? Everything's cool. Everything's straight. But I'm doing well. Yourself?
Doing good. Same here, man. And it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Usually it's technical difficulties, but we've been doing this show 236 weeks in a row. So you know what I'm saying? A few minutes late on a Tuesday is all good. So that's what's up. But definitely want to welcome y'all into the show. And yeah, I'm feeling good over here as well. And I'm excited about a piece of your content we're going to discuss in a few minutes that went out this weekend. I hope everybody did their homework and saw that, but we'll be talking about that in just a minute. But before we get into our normal topics, do want to welcome in the third member of our panel on remote location himself. It's Mad Marcus. What's good?
What up, people? How y'all doing, man?
We're doing good. How are you feeling?
We're here, man. We're here another day, man. Practice.
Yeah. The weather has been really nice, though, lately, the last couple of days. So it's still nice out there?
Yeah, it's nice out here. Ain't too bad. But I think when that sun go down, it's going to be a little chilly, but it's all good.
Yeah. We got to enjoy the last of it while we can because we know before we know it,
right.
We know
triple
what's
digits.
Next.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be over here complaining really quickly. But that's what's up. We'll go ahead and jump into our first topics and get this show rolling. Let's get it. What's up next?
Oh, let's check it out, man, real quick.
Tuned to NFL Talk. Let's get it. All right, NFL Talk. So one of the biggest stories I think of this week, and I wanted to get y'all impressions, at least to me, was the Russell Wilson being let know that he's going to be released, and the Broncos are going to take a historic cap hit. And basically, he was signed through 2028, so he still has a long time on his deal that he would have been playing under, but he has been released, and I just feel like he deserves better than that. Although he did have a rough couple years in Denver, but I just wanted to get y'all's thoughts on him being released. Were you surprised, or did we kind of see this coming?
So the dead cap, is this like a term, or what does that mean?
Yeah, so it means basically that there's $85 million that's going to go against their cap over the next 2 years that they won't be getting any players for. Because that's what he's still going to count against their salary cap, even though he won't be playing for them.
Oh.
And they have to pay him essentially like $39 million this year.
Ooh, that hurts.
So whatever contract he may get, it will be offset by that, but he's still going to make his money either way.
So with that being said, then, so it must have been bad then for them to like lose 40, like pretty much 85, but 40 for this year. Like, so something must have bad happened then for that to happen.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would love to know like how Sean Payton was really feeling, but pretty crazy situation. Yeah, this is the biggest move, at least as far as a team releasing a player with that much money owed still. So
that's crazy.
And he didn't play terribly last year. But Strizzy, what were your thoughts on it?
Funny thing is, when you look at it's just funny when you look at the numbers aside from like their record was he actually played really well. Like he did. Like, He actually played pretty good. For whatever reason, his receivers just really let him down. Like you expect when you have those two guys, on each side, there are other quarterbacks in the league who have far less talent, you know what I'm saying, than those two. But it's really, really crazy. A buddy of mine, he went to all the Super Bowl festivities this past weekend. He has a ton of just commentary just with Russell Wilson and Sierra. And you just look to see just how great, like we call him corny sometimes, but like, dude, this dude is like a phenomenal dude, man. Like basically like he helped one of my boys get into these Super Bowl parties and basically was like, if I can't get my dudes in, like I'm not coming in too. So essentially, the party would miss out on, Russell Wilson and Sierra just not to get like my boy in, who's not even a celebrity at all, right? Like, Prince kind of is, but Kingsley definitely is not. And because of him and because of that loyalty and things of that nature, like they were able to get into some of these Super Bowl parties, right? Mm-hmm. So just kind of seeing the type of person that he is, you know what I mean? To me, it just seems like this is 100% the Broncos, 100% Sean Payton. I don't think it really has really much of anything to do with Russell, aside from Russell just not being the guy that he wants, maybe not being his guy. And I think this is going to really set the Broncos back an extremely long time. Players look at things like this, you know what I'm saying? So, when players aren't going to want to go there, and the only way that the Broncos are going to be able to get them there is by overpaying guys. So Broncos to me are going to have to overpay some guys in order to get them there. I think they're going to be really, really bad for a really, really long time.
Yeah, I think it will have big implications. And even though the salary cap did go up, that's still money basically being wasted you can't use to get better,
Exactly.
To sign other players. So
exactly.
I do want to know what you guys think about I'm going to check the comments real quick, but also where Russell Wilson should go. I mean, he should be, up there. Kirk Cousins is potentially a free agent. I know Minnesota wants to bring him back. They got Baker Mayfield out there, but I mean, he should be sought after, I feel like, to get a second chance. But I would interesting to see where you guys would want to see him wind up. But Pop says Russell played well. Coach didn't want him and betrayed him repeatedly. No respect for coach. And it does suck. Like Sean Payton, I feel like just thought he was going to come into a different situation, I guess. But Anthony Weston says he feels like Atlanta might be the destination. And also that Unk says Russ to Minnesota would work. Maybe if they did lose Kirk Cousins. So
yeah, definitely.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think the Steelers would be a cool spot for him, though, if they're going to go a different way than Kenny Pickett. But I don't know. Marcus, what do you think about that? Or how do you feel about the Russ situation?
If he go to the Steelers, they're going to be so good. I don't want them to be good, so I'm going to
right? On that. I feel like if anybody can really make that work, it's definitely going to be Tomlin. I think Steelers is probably I think that's the destination he should want. You know what I mean? I thought that's the destination he should want. Falcons are still rebuilding. They're still growing. There's a lot of talent there. You know what I mean? But we still don't know how they're going to be. Perfect opportunity for him to kind of take over the division too, honestly, because I think we all thought that Saints were going to be better than they were. They weren't.
Yeah.
The Bucks lose the offensive coordinator to us now, head coach. You know what I mean? So that changes things as well. So I think the South is still up for grabs. But man, I feel like him in Pittsburgh with already a very established defense, what he's used to, and an offense where it's not completely reliant on the quarterback. You know what I mean? Is perfect. And you get a phenomenal head coach too. So makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, for sure.
And make a I don't know if it's gonna make a difference with him with Kelly Williams too, where he might go, and with Justin Fields, maybe they'll play a role with them three quarterbacks, like how they gonna do that too. So we'll see how that rolls.
Yeah,
that's a great point. I still think maybe like if Justin Fields is gonna get traded, maybe that happens first before we find out where Wilson goes, because we'll see. But it will be interesting. Free agency starts basically a week from today, so we'll be able to see where some of these players will start landing. But I did want to mention some of the other players that were released. Nothing too crazy except for the Seahawks going in a completely different direction with their safeties. They're releasing Quandre Diggs and Adams. Adams I can kind of see, but Diggs has actually been really good for them. And then we got some other people released around the league. Alexander Madison, who I don't know what's going to happen with him. He had his first chance to be a starter, and it didn't go so well in Minnesota. And then a couple other people there too. But we'll see, though. The Seattle thing kind of tripped me out, though. But, again, these people will start to shift the free agency market as we see more players become available.
Definitely.
Pop says Russ will play wherever he wants. Play well wherever he goes, my bad. Steelers, Patriots, Tampa. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of – actually, the Patriots would be interesting too.
It's good for real. Definitely.
But I must say this, though. We can't just act like Russell Wilson and see how Russell anyway. He's not that guy no more. So he's decent, but I think he need to go to a good team for him to be good. I think he go to a team that's not that good, he won't be good either. So we can't make it seem like he's still a great quarterback. He's good. He's not great no more, though, to me.
Yeah. I agree. Like, perfect in a game manager situation, like a veteran style, just come in and like run an offense that has a lot of playmakers, but not be asked to put the team on his back. Totally, yeah,
for sure.
And that's what he was supposed to get in Denver, kind of.
Exactly. I actually heard just recently that Atlanta is actually not Atlanta. Sorry, the Vikings are actually making a really, really strong push for him. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Every year, though, we know that quarterback carousel goes around and some different teams switch up, and I'll be interested to see where everybody lands.
I got one more. I got one question too. Did Kirk Cousins and RG3 come the same year, or they came like after one another? Like how?
Same year.
Same year. That's crazy. So RG3 could still be playing right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it was funny because that year the Redskins then they drafted both of them as rookies, the same draft. So RG3 in the first round, and then Kirk in like the 5th or 6th or whatever he was. And so it's pretty crazy how that whole thing played out. Let's see. The other thing is we have the franchise tag players, and I just wanted to really kind of report on those. Only 9 players were tagged this year, but we had some that we kind of expected, and I wanted to know, Strizzy, as our Panthers representative, how you felt about Brian Burns coming back on the franchise tag.
I guess it really depends. You know what I'm saying? Like right now I'm totally. It's not the franchise tag. It's the one basically that allows other teams to offer him something, and we're able to match it. If we don't match it, we end up getting 2 first-round picks for him, right? So it's kind of one of those things where I think they did that to kind of more so help themselves, right? It's like we get to keep him, if nothing, for a cheaper price than what he's wanting. I think they're going to trade him. I think what they want to do is trade him for assets, or if another team goes to get him, I don't think they'll match it, and then they'll get 2 first-round picks for him. I don't think, but they definitely don't want to lose him for nothing, right? Like I think that was the thing. That was the reason for the franchise tag. So I personally, I'm okay with it. I love Brian Burns. He's been really, really fun to watch the last couple seasons. Him and Derek Brown. But I feel like we've had a top 10 defense for the last 10 plus years, and the offense has really, really struggled. It's time if we want to see if Bryce Young has anything, because he really didn't show us anything last year. Like there was no promise, there was nothing to look forward to. You know what I mean? Like it was just a really, really bad year, right? So I think it's time that we need to kind of not necessarily struggle some ways in defense, but we need to kind of balance the team out a little bit. Like, the defense doesn't need to be a top 5 defense, but where the offense is number 30 or 29, 28. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to be, you know what I mean? Like even the Chiefs, granted, I'm not comparing myself to the Chiefs, but like defense top 5, but the offense was still like 14, 15, still middle of the pack. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of the things you gotta give a little to get a little. You know what I mean? And I think it's I don't know. It's a good start. You know what I mean? I'd be okay if one of our best assets on defense ends up going away and we get some assets in return. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you for sure. Uncle's talking about has anyone heard of Spencer Rattler? I hear he may be a sleeper pick at quarterback this June. He's all right. He actually has – he has a good arm. And I actually think he might be like a decent backup type of player. But I don't know about a sleeper, type of guy. But, yeah.
I think that's how he'll be.
Yeah. I watched him play against Georgia when he was at South Carolina, and then he went to Oklahoma. So, Strizzy, you got a good look at him.
I was begging them to put Caleb Williams in, like watching Rattler. He's from here, which is actually pretty cool. But like, as soon as we put Caleb Williams in, we just started doing so much better. And then I remember
the game. It was against the Longhorn. We were up, I think, by almost 30 points, and they put Caleb Williams in the game. Yeah. And I'm looking like, who is this kid? He killed us. They came back and won the game. I think we was up by 30. They came back.
Y'all were up by 30.
Yeah, they came back, and I think they won by a touchdown with a crazy end zone. Like you had to throw a perfect pass. I'm like, this kid is good. And then Spencer, he knew he had that day. He's watching it. He's like, I gotta leave. He already knew his job. He wasn't gonna draw it back. But Spencer Rattler, his size, he has to be a great quarterback at his size to be a backup. He's not great, so at his size, I don't think he's gonna make the NFL. So I think he's gonna go maybe go overseas somewhere and try to play, but he's not going NFL at all.
Yeah,
that's another player.
I watched it enough to be like, nah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hopefully he can prove something wrong. I never want to see these guys, not make it, but I don't see it. So I just don't see it.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's one of those that goes over there in the United, the USFL or whatever, and does his thing over there. So that's what's up. All right. I think other thing I was going to talk about the franchise tag is that wide receivers are going to get about $20 million under their franchise tag, which is pretty crazy. Cornerbacks, $19 million, but pretty interesting. So all these guys are going to be getting a high-end contract. But they won't know what's next for him. So, couple other news things, couple re-signings. Mike Evans got paid on his extension. He's going to be a Buccaneer for life, it looks like. Yeah. And then also Dalton Schultz, who we loved with the Cowboys, but went over to the Texans and is doing his thing. He got a pretty nice extension as well. So a couple signings, and then also Jason Kelce retiring. Did you guys see Jason Kelce's go ahead, Marcus. Go for it.
I know I might be, you know how I am. I just never seen a big deal breaking news when he already said that he was going to retire. They made a big deal of an offensive lineman. He got one Super Bowl. He's not even Lane. What's the guy's name? Lane, the left tackle for the Eagles. Remember what's his name? I know number 60 something. He's whatever, but he's not even to me. He's not even him. And like we make it a big deal of an offensive lineman retiring. Like who cares? I thought it was overhyped. I thought it was overdid. Kelce crying he might have been drunk when he was watching that, so I don't know why he was crying for it. But I might be pushing it with that. But I just thought I've never seen a guy like that get that overhyped for retiring. Who cares?
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying for sure. As far as especially like we kind of knew like when we saw him at the playoffs, like watching Travis Kelce, like and he was like wearing like Chiefs gear or whatever, like in red. It was like okay, like he's pretty much done. Like we even mentioned it on the show, like how he looked relaxed and he looked like all right, like I can just kind of be comfortable now. So definitely don't think it was anything crazy surprising, but and also not to be like breaking news, like yeah, like we got to cut everything off and go straight to it. I want to welcome Earth to the show, though. What's good? What's good, fam? And Earth reminds us he's the king of the brotherly shove. I mean, him and, his brother have been getting a lot of hype, and they're doing their podcast thing. So, maybe they're bigger celebrities than we thought. But it did seem like he already had said, like, after the last game, like, I'm retiring. So, and Anthony Weston reminds us it was Lane Johnson. There you go. Let me see. Oh, I also want to welcome Grace to the show. We didn't welcome Grace in. Happy Tuesday, Grace. Thank you for checking in. But yeah, I agree. Strizzy, what did you think, though? Any thoughts on Kelce?
Same thing. Again, offensive lineman, nothing too crazy. I think it's just he's just like a people-friendly guy, right? Just kind of like fun, kind of loud, in a sense. But I don't know, like. Unfortunately, like I think your offensive line helps move things. The most underrated position in football, right? Like if your team don't have an offensive line, like you're probably gonna struggle. But still an offensive lineman, dog. Like at the end of the day, I just don't see like I don't think he should have got a press conference. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
not for a lineman.
Yeah, definitely made a big deal than what we would normally see. So other thing to wrap up for NFL talk, we did have the combine over the weekend, and a new 40 time was set, fastest 40 time by Xavier Worthy at 4.21. So that's super legit. Texas Longhorn. He had some injuries through his career, but was already projected pretty high. And the latest mock rounds have him going to the Chiefs to be that deep speed threat. But that I wanted to see what Anthony Weston would think about that. But it's funny though. It's like it's awesome that he did that, and that's blazing fast. Don't get me wrong. But then when you see the names he's against, you know what I'm saying, and we think about John Ross and stuff like that doesn't always translate in the league, Nope. But super dope though. That was pretty tight to see.
Yeah, it's one of the good things that receivers like to do because obviously they're the fastest players in the league. But I think Devontae Adams says it all the time. Like nobody gives a damn about your 40 team or 40 speed because DBs are going to line up 12, 15 yards off you anyway. Route running. Practice your route running, practice your route running. That's all that matters. Yeah,
for sure. No, I agree. Another person that made headlines was this lineman, though, basically for the flowing locks. But he went viral over the weekend as well. So shout out to that. It's funny, though. Stephanie Washington, she says it's the Taylor Swift effect with the Kelce brothers. That's what's giving them that extra airtime, and I think so. I see that. Says the guy's a bit small, talking about Xavier Worthy for sure, but he's a track star, like, or not necessarily just a track star, but he has that speed. So
I think Chiefs can make it work though too. They have the coaching staff to make it work.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what happens with that. But we had our own personal interest also in another portion of the combine where we were going to be taking a close look at the wide receiver reps at bench press, because as we talked about with Strizzy, he was going to do his competition. So I don't know if you guys saw his YouTube video, his YouTube short, but Strizzy, do you want to talk about it real quick? Or you want me to reveal on here?
You can reveal it. I would fast forward just to the rep part if you're going to show it.
Okay,
just not the whole thing, but
no, I wanted to reveal the results of this year's draft. So we had 3 people tied at 19 for the wide receiver group in this year's draft, and at second we had Aeneas Smith with 21. Put at the top of the draft board in the NFL Combine this year. We had
your boy.
It's your boy, 23 reps at 225. So tell us about it, though. Easy work or what?
Yeah. Fun, it's funny enough, man. I had like everybody was watching me. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like everybody who was kind of around, they were like watching me. And I didn't even normally when I do my chest days, I do a different type of warm up. So I did warm up. So I feel like if I would have warmed up properly, I think I could have gotten at least 2 more. I think I can get 2 more. I might try to get in the day, see if I can get the flat 25, and then I think if I to kind of put it in perspective, you see it like one of the bigger dudes. DK Metcalf did 27.
Yeah, I did look at all time. He has the record for all time at 27.
Yeah. So he's at 27. So I was like, four off DK. Like I was like, that's what's up. I'll take that. I'll take 4 off DK.
Yeah, I mean we know how he was a monster coming out of Ole Miss.
I ain't gonna lie, that's super impressive, dog. 23 is super impressive.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I think I can get 17. Like that was mine. I think I got 17, and I felt really good, and I just kept going. And had my boy recording me, and I just grabbed some dude to the left and like, yo, can you make sure I don't die? You know what I'm saying? Just spot me real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
I was curious if you knew your spotter or not.
What's that?
I was curious if you knew your spotter or not.
No, I had no idea. He was cool enough though. He was like, I think he was nervous because like I don't think the camera or whatever. He was like super close, like watching me. And I was like, oh, I'm good for a little bit, dog. Like I'm good for a little bit.
I know, because I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? I wish I could have been there, because you know how the coaches be hyping you up and stuff, like when you're doing it and stuff, and be trying to hype you up to get that extra lift. But that's what's up. But Grace, she guessed 22.
Yeah, she was one off.
She was on. And then Mom says impressive. Unc says he thinks he got 17 reps senior year.
Yeah.
Mom says, how many could you do, A-Dub? I think I got a good 3. I don't know. No, I'm playing, but I definitely know where
you got at least 12 or 13. Just from your size by itself.
I mean, I think we could see.
We got that big
funny
strength.
Because Mom's was asking how many Lad McConkey did. I should see how many Lad McConkey did. Maybe I could try to go for his the wide receiver out of Georgia. But I don't know. I got a little bit of something, but man, it's been a long time. Especially free weights is different too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different than just using your brute strength like I can use. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Yesterday I actually hit a new PR. Man, I hit 335 yesterday. So that's my active 1 rep max.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Well, definitely we have seen the growth even in just our intros and, you know what I'm saying, in our time together for sure. And shoot, we know each other all the way back since Gaucho days, you know what I'm saying? So I knew that. Yeah, I knew the super skinny Strizzy. So
tiny.
Let's see. Unc said Adam got 27, Zeke got 31.
Yeah, Adam is my uncle, and then Zeke's one of their old best friends.
Oh, dang, that's what's up.
I don't think my uncle Adam's getting 27 now, though. He was like a full blown like bodybuilder back in the day.
Earthly, chill out, man. You know you're doing more, man.
Yeah, Earthly, you got it. You got this. But no, that was cool, man. I was glad that we could see that. So that's what's up. Anthony West has got to get the Balco. You know what I'm saying? They had the cream and the clear. You know what I'm saying? They had all that. You'd be really repping. But that's what's up. So I think that's going to close up NFL talk for us. But of course, like I was saying, free agency starts next week. So I think it starts next Wednesday, but next Tuesday we'll actually be able to see some of the agreements coming through. But it'll be very early. But we'll be able to see what's going on. I feel like always free agency and then the draft, and then we'll see what happens over the summer. But yeah. Moving on to our next topic. Let me go ahead and play this thing too, so we can see Skinny's Trizzy one more time. So this week we saw another landmark, another milestone in the GOAT's career. LeBron hitting 40,000 points and being the only member of the 40,000 points club. And it's a major milestone. It's definitely a big record, but it's funny how it's like he's kind of in a league of his own, but he was already number one. So they made it as if it was like he was breaking a new record, you know what I'm saying? But I thought that was interesting, but it is pretty remarkable. LeBron James, though, doing it still at his age that he's doing it. Marcus, what did you think about the 40,000? And where do you think he'll land? Does he go to 40?
I think he definitely gets. I think he get close to 42. If not 42, I think he get close to it. I think he's gonna be done. So they came out and said for a person to do this again, they have to average 24 points a game and play all 82 games and do it for 20 years. It's crazy. Like, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, and we talking about this guy. I'm going to end it right here. This guy is a pass-first guy. And we as a kid, we never knew Kareem. We never thought they would get reached. We just always thought second. We never thought they'd get reached. And this dude passed it up and he's still playing. He got 40,000. Like, I'm sorry, man. I know people. I'm at the point now, I don't even argue with people who said Mike is a GOAT. That's your opinion about the whole thing is. Yeah. But we got like, come on, man. It just, I know it's an argument, but sometimes you don't really have to argue about the whole thing about LeBron. He's an overall person, overall teammate, who he is. He's a GOAT. So it's my final thing about it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's one of those things, like, I always talk about, like, it's kind of like Marcus is right. Like, it's one of those things, like, everyone's gonna have their own opinions, right? It also depends on kind of like, we got to watch, both, both these guys. A lot of these kids nowadays never got to watch Mike, so they just take a lot of dudes that, take their word for it, right? Oh, Mike's the GOAT, then Mike's the GOAT. But like, there really is no argument. Like, like realistically, like if me and Marcus were debating and I said I'm gonna take MJ as the GOAT, you take LeBron as the GOAT, we could argue it. But I can literally also say, all right, I want you to argue MJ's the GOAT and I'm gonna argue LeBron the GOAT. But that's just how great they both are. You know what I mean? Like, and I think one of my biggest arguments for literally both of them is time, right? What Michael Jordan was able to do in the short amount of time he was able to do is phenomenal. And what LeBron is still doing at almost 40 years old. I mean, like, you watched the comeback when they just had the other night, you know what I mean, a couple nights ago, and like he's and you're watching him do this. You're watching him hit 5-6 threes in the fourth quarter to bring them back, and it's like you still kind of expect AD to be doing that for him, and it's LeBron. Like, you know what I mean? It's just he should not be able to do this, dog. Like I think that's what amazes me the most. Like, I don't even care about the 40,000 points. Watching LeBron James still run down the lane and bam on dudes' heads as hard as he's doing it, coming down, not flipping like Chris Brown on or whatever. Like like that to me, that's what's just so incredibly amazing. And to put it in perspective, we talk about how great Steph is. Steph isn't even top 30 at 35. Steph is 35 years old. He's not even top 30 in points. He's only at 23,000 points. I say only, that's a lot of points, but
right.
He's not even top 30 right now. So I think somebody asked AD, like, who's going to do it next? Someone said Steph. No, he's not. Steph isn't even going to hit 30,000. He might, but like, he might not hit 30,000. Like, he already has 4 championships at age 38. Steph might call it a year or call it a career. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man. Like, 40,000 points is so many points, and to be doing at this high of a level at this age is insane. I saw Vince Carter dunk the basketball the other day, and it did not look clean. You know what I'm saying? It did not look clean. You know what I'm saying? And that's something he was known for. And those two are still extremely close in age. So that's crazy, man. It's insane.
Yeah. No, I agree. And you both make great points. And I like what you said, Strizzy, about the time too. Like, the time is an argument as far as like what MJ did in a little bit of time and what LeBron's doing over a sustained amount of time. But But I agree too. It's like everybody's gonna have their own GOAT. Everybody's gonna have their own opinion. And we can always change the focus of the argument to suit whoever we would want to, you know what I'm saying, in a real debate like that. So it can go back and forth, but I do think longevity has to be a part of that example as well. And we've never seen anything like this. No. There's you can't take that away. So
yeah, LeBron never quit. I hate when people say Michael Jordan retired. He didn't retire. When you retire, you don't come back from it. He quit and he came back. So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
I love it. We got to get let's see. Unk says Iverson, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, then Shaq. That's his top 5, and everybody has everybody has their own top 5. Anthony Weston says I think Kobe not tore his Achilles, he would have gotten it. Talking about the points record, but still I don't know because that even Kobe was not going that long. Pops, we know what Pops represents, and we know where Pops is coming from. He started off by saying silliness, not even debatable. You didn't see MJ play. MJ would destroy LeBron if both in their prime. Much respect to LeBron for his longevity, but stop. And
can I say one thing about that? What Pop just said? It's real quick. I understand when he don't have that dog, he don't have that fight that Jordan had. I wish he did have that. He didn't have that. But LeBron, defensive. I don't think you can stop either one of them, but LeBron is a defensive guy. Like, come on now. He could have got with MJ scoring wise. So the dog and all that, and the toughness, he don't have that. I give you that, but he would have got with MJ. MJ ain't dogging LeBron. Sorry.
Miami Brown was crazy on the defensive side. Miami Brown was insane.
Anthony Weston brings up Kareem and MJ going to college affects us. Also, lots of factors for both MJ and versus LeBron. And that's true.
That's why I said time. I said time, and when I say time, it's for both. You know what I mean? Like I said, what MJ did in such a short amount of time. Like you give Michael Jordan 21, 22 seasons. You know what I mean? Like he would have not only at 40,000. Like you're probably talking about a record that won't be broken. We're probably talking about we're talking about a record like Stockton's assist record. You know what I mean? If he had that much extra time. So yeah, I get that.
But LeBron came out of high school, y'all. He wasn't supposed to be who he is either. You know what pressure he had on him to be? He's still playing right now, so you gotta give him that too. He came out of high school. It's a kid. His teammate didn't even want him on his team. He still did his thing. So,
like I said, I'll argue both sides all day. You know what I'm saying? I love watching Mike. It was great watching him grow up. You know, Michael Jordan. If there was no Michael Jordan, there probably isn't LeBron James. You know what I mean? So. If there's no Michael Jordan, there's no Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just not. But my argument is not that LeBron is my GOAT. My argument is just the longevity of it is insane. Like I said, to be doing what he's doing, like even before the Achilles, you know what I mean? Like you still saw Kobe declining. You still saw Kobe going down. You know what I mean? And obviously the Achilles sped that up, but
yeah,
I don't know what he's doing right now is still insane.
I have to say it. I know
he needed 8 points. He needed 8 points.
And Pop says 6-0. At risk of getting kicked out the family, though, Pops, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, but LeBron is my GOAT. I think I can open my mind that way, and we know that even LeBron and what we can't fathom now is going to be topped again when we're long gone. So. Everything that is the nature of life, everything pushes forward.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Like I would say 6 years ago, no way LeBron is a GOAT. It's always MJ. I was always with that.
Right.
Like you said, then you saw same thing like, what? Wait, what? Look at this. You know what I'm saying? I was the same way. I was all down MJ is a GOAT. Nobody else be like MJ. But, man, some things different, man.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, let's jump on to some more current events in the NBA. And I got to talk about the Celtics as much as
I knew it was coming. I was just waiting who was going to say it.
That is so funny. But y'all know already who my GOAT is anyways. You know what I'm saying? So it's neither of those guys. So everybody has their own thing. So
that's very true.
That's very true. Man, that's so funny, though. All right. I do another team I don't like to talk about at all, the Celtics. But they're doing their thing. And they have had 3 victories now this year by a margin of at least 50 points after beating the Warriors by 50 this weekend. They're on an 11-game winning streak. And it's almost like with the addition of Porzingis, but it's almost like when we see Brown and Tatum together, it's like what the OKC could have had if they would have just kept their young stars and let them actually grow up together.
For sure.
I think that's kind of what we're seeing now, but I want to know what y'all think about the Celtics going forward. Are they scary in the playoffs? Obviously they're dominating the regular season. They have like an 8-game lead in the East, but are they a walk to the Eastern Conference Finals or what do you think?
I think they're definitely – so here's the thing, right? The last couple of years, it's really been them and Miami, right? And Miami, even when they're not playing as well as we think they are, as soon as the playoffs come around, they turn into who we know them to be, right? We just saw Jalen Brunson get, carried off the court a couple nights ago, which even though they're playing well, no one's really worried about the Knicks. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's really worried about the Cavs. They added 2 great pieces in getting Drew and getting Porzingis. So I feel like if somehow they don't win a championship this year, if somehow they can't get it done, it's over. You got to separate these two because it's never going to happen. This is as good as the Celtics have been, and right now, to me, they're the best-looking team in the league, even over Denver, over the Clippers, or over everybody. If they can't get it done with this team, right? Drew Holiday's a champion. You know what I mean? And he's the point guard. He's a defensive guy. Like he's going to go and he's going to guard one of their best 1 or 2 guard. He's going to knock down a 3 when he needs to. These two are going to do what they need to. Porzingis is playing well. He's healthy for a change.
Right.
If they can't get it done this year, they will never get it done. It will not happen.
Yeah, I feel it. Marcus?
I don't trust them. They're not gonna ever do it. So I know he said I know that you got a team down there, those Miami Heat boys. They've been there, done that. They beat this team, so like they're not scared of them. Like you can't get past when they play. It's a different animal when you get to playoff. Like the Miami right now, they cool right now. Just get me in there, and then wish what we're gonna do. So you got a guy like Jimmy Butler, like I said, that dog. It's hard to beat that in the playoffs. It's hard to they know that dog down there. In your neighborhood, you can't go out to certain houses because that dog was over there because you knew it was gonna always get you. So they know that dog that down there in Miami. Then you got another big dog in Milwaukee. We could all. I know how the NBA going right now with Damian Lillard. They're not clicking like that. Wait till the playoffs. Just wait. Yeah. Those guys don't know, and when we come down to it, at the end of the day, they're gonna have that dog. They're gonna beat those guys. So. The Celtics are a good regular season team. They do it, but it's hard to play when it's pressure on you, to have that mentality. It's all about your mindset. Yeah. Like Jimmy Butler has that mindset. Giannis got that mindset. When you taste it and you get there, it's different. But those guys are young. Those guys don't have that in them. You know what I'm saying? They flashy and do all that kind of stuff. But you got to have their heart and their mentality, and they don't have it. It's not their fault. It's just that how they built. They built different. You know what I'm saying? So when you get in the playoffs, you got to have more than that. And I think Miami and Milwaukee are going to be the top 2 teams standing at the end of the day. So that's what I say. I feel.
You saw what Dame just did the other night without Giannis against a good team scoring 40-some points. And Mark, I completely agree. As a Miami fan, like the Boston Celtics get how far they get. They get to the Eastern Conference Finals because of the talent that they're a good team. Talent alone will get them far. But you're right. It's a mentality thing. The Miami Heat have the mentality to get to the conference, to the NBA championship, right? We've lost it twice. The problem is the 2 teams that we fought were just so much better, right? Also with some championship guys. We had to go through LeBron 1 year, you know what I mean? And the Nuggets team last year, they weren't losing to nobody. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at on paper, the Celtics are better than Miami, but like you said, like they just have that mentality that just says, no, we're a championship team. They think like champions, even though they're not champions. Yeah, I mean, Spo is, right? Spo has a mentality of a championship coach, but that's what's going to help Miami in the long run. And same thing with Milwaukee. They'll figure it out. When Dame starts getting into that role of like, all right, I'm kind of done playing second fiddle.
Yeah, trying to fit in.
Yeah, now it's 1A, 1A. Not even 1B, 1A, 1B. Like now it's 1A, 1A. Like you brought me here to beat Damian Lillard, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I think Boston's going to have a hard time beating either one of those teams.
Yeah, that's what Anthony Weston says as well. And then he also said the Celtics are the Buffalo Bills.
Back there.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. A quick look at the standings as they are today. We're basically like 5-6 weeks away from the playoffs. So teams got not too many games to go. But yeah, the Celtics are way out ahead of the Bucks in the East. But again, those things will kind of settle themselves out. And the West is a pretty close race to see who will end up. But this is kind of our 1 through 10s. This is our playing teams for right now.
Dude, I haven't watched. I did not know OKC and Minnesota was doing that. Like, that's crazy. They both can be put out the first round too. Like, that's crazy. I didn't know they was like that.
Yeah, no, it's been very interesting, but the Timberwolves have been leading for most of the year. And it doesn't look like they're going to stumble too far down the stretch, but it is very close though at the top of the West. But you're right though, both of those teams up there could still get put out by these teams that go through the play-in. So it'll be interesting. I'm hoping that the Lakers can kind of move up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't want them in that 9-10, that single elimination. I'd rather them be in that 7-8 where they can potentially just win in the first game of the play-in and move in. But it's interesting. But the West loaded as always. The East. Well, the East is pretty scary too, though. The East has definitely has some threats too.
I'm surprised with the Pacers. They were doing so good during the season tournament. So I'm surprised they I thought they would be higher than that too.
Halliburton hasn't gotten fully healthy. That's been his problem. That hamstring's really bothering him.
Yeah, for sure. But they're still kind of hanging around. The Knicks have been kind of surprising, but I still don't buy it with Brunson and them yet. Like not in the playoffs, so. We'll see. And then the Magic, they've had a solid season, but again, not in the playoffs. So we'll see. Some other news though, Russell Westbrook broke his left hand, so he's going to be out for a little while. But they're hoping to get him back around playoffs, and that was kind of their little engine off the bench, their sixth man.
Yeah, that's how it starts. When you get that old as a player, you get those injuries like that, you start going all the way down, man. It could be a start of his career being over, man. So. I hate to see that. That's my favorite player still, but I think he's about to start wrapping it up.
Yeah, it's kind of not the same, but I do like how he's evolved his mentality over time, though.
Definitely
to do what he needs to do. Ugg says Anthony Edwards is getting better, but one thing I was going to mention last night he missed tip off. He said he lost track of time. I think he had to, to call a nature or something like that because. How do you lose track of time when your whole team leaves the locker room? It's not like you're just like, but yeah, he said he lost track of time. So he actually checked in like a few seconds later, but he was on the sideline waiting to check in when the actual tip off happened. So pretty crazy, but he is a beast though too. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for NBA, but things will start to heat up. We'll keep watching down the stretch, but I was going to say a couple things like, Pops, I appreciate you, Pops. He said foolishness, but I forgive you because you are the GOAT of sons. See, you know what I'm saying? We can have difference of opinion. I thought, but see, Mom's was like, you're out the family. Mom's was not
Mom gave you the boot so quick.
She was firing off. Anthony Weston says Kobe is my GOAT. Mom says Dr. J for me, and Pops with his angry ones. But yeah, that's too funny. But that's what's up though. Moving on, we have a little bit of baseball news real quick. A couple one big signing, and I just definitely wanted to mention it because it did make history. Zach Wheeler signing an extension with the Phillies, 3 years, $126 million, which is crazy because he's currently on like a 5-year, $105 million contract, and to now be getting 3 years added on for an average of $42 million a year is crazy. As we see the pitching money and just baseball money in general continues to go up, but that is a new record for most money in an extension. So
baseball is guaranteed money too? They get all that?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So no saying released, cut, whatever, his arm falls off tomorrow, that's paid out. So that's big time money. But there are some other free agents out there available. Jordan Montgomery, Blake Snell, and JD Martinez. But it's interesting. They were kind of talking about this is like that more players are kind of staying later into free agency because as teams, spring training's been going for now a couple weeks, but as teams like they think maybe they got something in a rookie or a youngster and then they see that it's not really panned out, then that's when they'll come back and spend big money for an arm. So we got some of these pitchers that are kind of waiting around. and getting to avoid, I guess, training camp in a sense, and then waiting to sign with who needs a guy. So, so we'll see with that. But Strizzy, are you excited for baseball season?
Yeah, man, I'm actually really excited. Kind of, I definitely want to get out to a game. You know what I mean? This month, really, really want to. Especially, they're cheaper right now. It's kind of fun. They're starting to ramp up a little bit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm really excited. I got really into baseball over the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? The last 2 years, I've been able to really watch it during the day, especially while I'm working. So I'm super excited. I know Unc's gonna kill me, but I'm kind of excited to watch the Dodgers a little bit this year. You know what I'm saying? I think they just got a fun team. I think they're gonna do. I love the Braves. You know what I'm saying? The Cubs are my team. I love what the Braves did last year. They also one of my favorite players on that team too. So I'm kind of curious to see what they continue to do. But yeah, man, I'm excited. For once, I'm not completely just down because football and basketball will be off for a little while. I'll have some baseball to watch in the summertime.
Yeah, for sure. And we do have to plan that. I think we just got to look and see what's the best day. But catch a 105 or whatever, Camelback Ranch, I'm down.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get bacon wrapped.
Hey, we gotta get one of those. I was thinking about the same thing. That's crazy. I was thinking the same thing just now.
Yeah, that was fire. So yeah, Stephanie Washington mentioned we got to go plan a Dodgers game in AZ for sure. So. Anthony said, did you guys see the renderings of the Las Vegas A's stadium? And we have seen them. They look pretty dope. Just the fact that there's going to be a baseball stadium on the Las Vegas Strip is pretty crazy. But I think baseball getting there, I'm excited for it. I'm definitely excited for it. And I hope that the NBA is not far behind. Then they'll have all 4 major sports. Well, 5. They'll have everything basically out there. So
that'd be so dope.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. One other thing, I know we mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but college football 25 coming back. And so I don't know if you guys saw the NIL deal that they offered, but they offered to 11,000 different college players. They get $600 and a copy of the game for agreeing to add in their likeness. That's a good deal for me. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's plenty. And they've had over 10,000 players opt in so far. So that's a lot of money that they're spending too.
Yeah.
But Marcus, you think they should get more or what?
I don't think they should get nothing. It's a video game, dog. It's just y'all getting paid already. I would say the guys who not getting paid by NIL, maybe but the guys that are getting that, man, they don't need no money, man. Come on, man.
That's kind of where I was at. It's one of them things where if the NCAA is gonna make money off of you, I think you should get paid. You know what I mean? So for some of the smaller guys who don't get that recognition, $600 for a college student, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know what I mean? It's whatever. And then, their name gets into the game. So that's dope. But I also still feel kind of like the bigger players who make them more money should also get more money. You know what I mean? Some of these guys who are, top recruited, things of that nature, they're going to make so much more money off them than a couple $100, you know what I'm saying? So.
And that was my next question because Arch Manning did opt out. He will not be in the game. And even though he's not the starter next year for Texas, I mean, obviously he's a big name. So do you think that's why he might have opted out? Because he's like, look, I need to get more than the $600 entry-level deal if y'all want to put me in there? Or do you think he just doesn't want to be a part of it?
What do you mean he's saying he's not going to start next year?
He's not going to start next year.
Why not? Who's going to start over him?
Why you say that?
I think Quinn Ewers or whatever. Or did he leave?
Yeah, he's out of there. That's why he's going to the SEC because he's about to do his thing. So I think Ewers is gone, but if he's still, I think Arch he's starting next year, dog.
Got you.
You don't make all this big old thing to sit on a bench twice, 2 years in a row. Nah, you playing.
Well, I think he's still got to win that job though. But maybe that's just a formality or whatever. But I don't know because you never know. He might not be that good. You know what I'm saying? Just because he got that last name.
Yeah, he's a star, dog. He's playing next year. I'm just saying.
Okay. All right. But yeah, Quinn did come back. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. But I'm wondering that too, though. Is he wanting to get more dough, or he's just like, I don't want to be in the game? But I think it would be dope. I think I would definitely agree to that. I'd be like, especially you get a copy of the game so you can play it when it comes out.
Dang.
That's enough.
But I do agree with Shreezy how he was saying that. So some players who get more money should get more. So I agree with that too. And $600, you got to think about it. I just thought about that. That's a lot because college is not like NFL. There's a lot of players you got to pay too. So $600, it does add up, you know.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I do understand that too.
Yeah, because they had over 10,000 players already sign up. So they're like, all right, we got to spread this out. We
got to do the math on that, man. That's like, God, how much is that?
I don't know, like 6 million or 600,000 at least. I don't know.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think about because, like, I mean, it's like we said. Like you look at certain guys. Like you look at some of the top college prospects in both football and in basketball, right? Like the amount of money that they've made on some of these dudes. Like, I mean, think about how big JJ Redick was. Like, I know he didn't do it in the NBA, but JJ Redick was huge. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like how much money they made off JJ Redick, when he wasn't getting paid at all at the time. So, it's funny. I'm going back to Quinn. What game does Quinn get hurt and Archie take over and never give it back?
Right.
And I say hurt in air quotes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He probably will be ready, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's $6 million. So yeah, that's a lot of money for them. They haven't sold no games yet. So, Earth said, I can't wait to get my road to glory started. I'm with it too. I'm gonna check this one out. I'm gonna pick this one up for sure. He said, I saw something about his parents won't allow him to accept NIL. That's crazy. They're like, you already got money, son.
I'm about to say, I get that too. You a Manning, dog. You don't need that. I get that too. So
they're like, we don't need you to be on the local car wash billboards and all that. We don't need to do those NIL deals. So yeah, we'll see. But my other question too, though, speaking of college, is March Madness is like 2 weeks away. Are we going to do another March Madness bracket? Are y'all interested in doing a SLAC March Madness?
We got to.
Okay. All right, cool. So I'm going to make sure we get that put together. I'm going to see if we can just renew last year's. Hopefully we can renew last year. I think we did it through Yahoo. And so it'll just send out the invites again for everybody to come make your bracket. You can make multiple. I think you can make up to 3 brackets. So we'll have a competition again. And even though I don't know a lot about March Madness, one thing I do know this year is that there isn't too many dominant teams. So this is going to be an even crazier tournament. Even when you had the heavy favorites, there's upsets. This tournament is going to be very unpredictable. So even if you haven't been watching, get ready. Just throw your bracket out there. You know what I'm saying? And we'll do some kind of prize with it. So I think that's it. I think we made it. We'll go ahead and shut down the slides there. But anything else you guys want to bring up, and anything else, Slackers, if you guys want to talk about real quick while we wrap this thing up. I'm going to check the comments out real quick too. Caitlin Clark, I forgot to put a slide for her. Caitlin Clark, Unc says better win with all this hype she's getting, and it'll definitely be interesting. A lot of people saying, she just recently beat the all-time NCAA record, beating Pistol Pete Maravich as well for scoring. She still doesn't have the total college basketball record. Actually, there was a female basketball player that had scored more than her, and so she still actually has a little bit more to go if you want to take all the asterisks off the record and just say top scoring basketball player ever. But a lot of people are questioning, can she be the GOAT of women's college basketball if she never wins a championship? We got Breonna Stewart. She won all 4 years, you know what I'm saying? Tournament MVP 4 years in a row, things like that. So as good as Caitlin is, and as much as she's impacting the game, is she the GOAT? So we'll have to debate that.
I think she's a great player, but we got to think about it too. What if she went to a bigger name school with other players as good as her too on the team? Because she's on a team on an hour and she's getting all these points. You know what I'm saying? So what if she went to like a UConn or like a South Carolina, something like that, with other good players? Would she still get that opportunity like that too? But I'm not taking away from her. I think she's humble. She's a great athlete, but I just wonder if she went to one of those schools and she doing her thing like that too.
I agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's nice. I mean, she nasty nice. Like, she definitely gonna go to the league and just be. She's gonna be nice there too. But I do agree with you in the sense of, if you go to a much bigger school, things are a little bit different. Other top recruits are gonna come there too, and they're gonna take some of your shots away. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
she's nice. I'm not taking nothing away from her. She's nice.
Right. And that was funny that they were making a big deal of her declaring for the draft because she could get like her extra COVID year. But I'm like, then that wouldn't definitely not be right for her to play 5 years. Like, it doesn't make sense.
No.
But is she going to be the number one WNBA draft pick? Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, Stephanie, I think she will be the number one pick in the draft coming up. Definitely the best player out there. But y'all make a great point. Like, her whole career at Iowa, she's been clearly the best player, and they've deferred to her and basically been like, hey, we're going to go as far as you take us. Whereas, like, she hasn't really had to, like, meld in, you know what I'm saying, or, like, work with other players that are you know, kind of up there with her. So we'll see. But she is definitely a baller, that's for sure. And I'm going to bring up next week, I'll bring out that other lady that scored more points than her, and we'll look at that overall time record because I think that you guys would like that. So, but that's what's up. I think we'll leave it right there. What else is coming up? Oh, yeah, NFL free agency next week. And then we'll continue to kind of just draw down on the NBA, and then we're only a couple weeks from baseball. So Strizzy will be ready with some insights on that. But until then, that was episode 236 of Say Like a Champ. It's your boy A-Dub.
Your boy Strizzy, y'all.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Thanks for listening to Say Like a Champ. Engage with us on Instagram. Share your thoughts, and you might just be featured on the show. Be sure to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you pod so you don't miss next week's episode of Say Like a Champ.